Now that we have all three of our required parts for this block assembly created, we can go ahead and start an assembly file. So we'll go to New and make sure you're in the metric folder, and down in this second section here you'll see all the different assembly files, and we want the standard millimeter assembly. Notice the extension .iam, I for inventor, am for assembly. Click create, and if you look at the ribbon here, the first two choices that you see at the far left, you see place and you see create. Now places, if you already have the files created that you want to put in your assembly, you'll choose the place feature. If you choose create, um, to create a new part, if you haven't created the parts that you're going to assemble yet. So we've already created our parts, so let's go to place and we'll start with the bottom block. Open. Okay, so what you see is a preview of the part that I'm going to put in. And as I move my mouse around, that it's just, I can place it anywhere in this environment. So I'll left click and it's going to place one of those parts in there. As I move my mouse away from the part, you'll see a preview for a second part, another one of the bottom blocks to be placed in there, but we only want one of them. So let's right click to get out of the place feature. Okay. So I'll go ahead and click place again. This time I want the top block, and it's prompting me again to place the um, first top block in there. So I'll left click, and if I move my mouse away, it'll prompt me to add another top block, but I only want one of them. So right click, click OK, and then I'll go back to place one more time, and I'll choose the post, and I'll just place it here. Okay, left click, then right click, click OK. So now I have these three parts here that are just placed in space. And if I left click on any one of them and hold down the left click, I can move them around any way that I want to. Okay. But in order to do an assembly, you always want at least one part to be anchored or grounded, as they call it in Inventor. So that way, as you start attaching the other parts to it, that is easier to manage your assembly. So in the next video, uh, I'll discuss how to ground your parts, and then we'll start making the block assembly.